YouTube, Jada Bar B here. This cut right here that you about to see is called a burst taper. I'm gonna show you how to do it step by step, so stay tuned and follow up. Alright YouTube, just like you start any cut, you start by combing the surface first. Then you go ahead and start making your triangles on the side, your ball triangles.
Babyliss on the beat.
When it comes to making the burst tapers on the sides, I like to curve the back when I do my ball line in the back. So after I comb this surface, I'm gonna go ahead and arch my clippers a little bit, tip my clippers a little bit to the right, and go up in a rainbow form. Then you go ahead and you do the same thing to this side. Go ahead and make your ball triangle to create that burst shape. Next thing I do is I come in with the blade open, and see the blade all the way open. Then I go ahead and cut a 1/4 inch into the taper in that same shape, that same triangle shape. You cut about a 1/4 inch up. Then I go ahead and start with the blending of that first demarcation line by closing the blade a little bit. Start going in that flicking in motion. Then you'll see me close the blade all the way and try to get out that bottom line. Now I got my one guard. You'll see me repeat the same steps. Go up about a 1/4 inch into the taper and try to keep the same V motion that you started with the ball demarcation line. And then from here on out, you start adjusting and started blending and starting to get that good blend motion in that same triangle shape. You play with your lever, make sure you get that comb in your hand, make sure you comb and you blend and you comb and you blend and try to get that bottom dark line out. grab your 1.5 guard and try to take the bulk of the corner of your edge up out. I guess that's the proper term for it. This is part of the blending. You try to take that heavy stuff up out so it can blend nicely with the fro. Now I got my number 8 guard out. My number 8 guard is to knock off the bulk of the fro so I can start blending the fro to match the taper. I done switched over. I got the 4 guard out to help with the blending before I freehand it. Freehanding is also good too. But first, I'm gonna go with this 4 and try to knock a lot of that bulk out. At this point here, I'm gonna go ahead and try to fade the hard line out of his beard, his sideburn. This client is military and he has a no shave chit, so we will not be lining up or focusing too much on his beard. We'll be focusing on his taper. Now we made it to the back of the neck. We go ahead and open the blade all the way up fully. We make our first demarcation line. Make sure you follow each hair because at this point of the neck, the hair goes in different directions. So go ahead and push your clipper to go against the grain, whatever way that hair is going. From here, you grab your 1 guard and you go ahead and make your second demarcation line using the same steps as you did with the open blade. You follow the hairs in which direction it goes, and then you swipe in the opposite direction of which the hair flows. You go against the grain. Then from here, you start blending. Go ahead and do what you gotta do to get that line out in the middle. You switch your blade, you go to your 1/2 guard, you do what you gotta do. Make sure you get that middle line out. Now it's time to get that 3rd line out. I switch to my 1.5 guard, start flicking away with it closed. Then concentrate on getting that line out. You play with the lever, do what you gotta do to try to blend that line in with the fro. Now I come in with my 4 guard to try to relieve a lot of that bulk from the fro, from the taper to the fro. try to make that blend look better. And then I start to freehand it. Try to get that blend, try to get that round shape back there in the back tapers. As you rounding your fro, make sure you use your mirrors to make sure everything is coming out symmetrical. Make sure you use your mirrors to see how good that taper has been blended. So I see that later I will be coming back to this taper to help this blend look a lot better. So now we starting with the other side. You go ahead and you be using the same steps as you used when you did on the left side. So we're gonna go ahead and speed this up. Now we're moving into the most important part of the haircut, which is the lineup. When you're doing the lineup, you want to try to keep the line as natural as possible. I cannot stress that enough. Keep the line as natural as possible, unless the client tells you otherwise. Remember, when you're doing this or any cut, use your mirrors. When you use your mirrors, you get to see things that you didn't see when you were doing it with the naked eye. Right now, I'm gonna clean up this bottom line, see if I could make it feather it out a little better than I've done. Right now we're doing the front lineup. I'm adding a little bit of holding spray to try to freeze the hair. I kind of already pre-did the lineup, so I'm just doing the cleanup on the lineup. I like the spray, the hairspray on the hair, to freeze the hair in a certain position, and it makes the cut of the lineup even sharper. taper all come together. You see how it's just blended in one little round spot? That's the burst taper. Alright, this right here is called a curl sponge glove. What you do with the curl sponge glove is you find some type of moisturizing lotion or leave-in conditioner. That's what I'm using on the client's head. I spray it down, take the glove, and I go in a clockwise motion around the head. The secret to this is do not push hard towards the scalp. Just graze the top of the hair. That will cause it to twist. Just graze the top of the hair lightly and move in a clockwork motion. Alright, here we go. This is the cut. You got your burst taper with the sharp lines. You got the sponge curl with the clockwise motion. I wish I would have did his beard, but you know, he's military, not allowed to get the beard lined up real sharp. Anyway, subscribe to my channel. Instagram @Jade_thebarber_B. Thanks for watching.